Hi, good morning. This is Bhushan Nemlekar from Daisar Connect, and I'm on DC Wise Talk today, and which is WiseBiz Reality is a thing which is powering our entire show. And today I have got a very renowned guest by the name of Dr. Ajay Shah, who doesn't require any introduction. Dr. Ajay Shah is known to the population which is existing in Daisar for the past, say, 30, 40 years, and he was a person who started this concept of a modern pathological laboratory, and this was his vision. So there are a lot of doctors from this fraternity. There are people from the medical industry who are aware that we are going to have a chat show with him today on the Isar Connect. The reason behind having this kind of a concept powered by WiseBiz Reality is we want to bring Daisar on a platform where everyone should understand what's happening in Daisar as far as development is concerned. What are the future plans, so that even the younger generation who's there, who's interested to be in Daisar rather than having a brain drain and going out of the country, they can retain themselves and say, okay, yeah, this is a good place. You can ask, you can stay, and have a future. My friends, you can also ask your questions, which could be displayed on the screen. And it will be very nice to have Dr. Ajay Shah on the screen right now. And I have got Mr. Chintan Vasani, who's directing the entire show. Good morning, Dr. Ajay Shah. How are you?
Very fine. Good morning. Good morning to all
Yeah,
of you.
it's nice to have you today on DC Wise Talk, which is powered by WiseBiz Reality. Um, and the direction, or the entire thing is looked after by Chintan Vasani, a young, energetic personality. And I've got Dr. Bharat Vasani, who's also wishing us good morning. So, Dr. Saab, it is first of all, you are a very low profile and a very humble person in life. So, I wanted to specifically be invited on the Isar Connect because I want the Isarites to know exactly, what is Dr. Ajay Shah, because they know you so well. They know you as a person who always helps them out. You take care of their health. But I want to know certain things that people from Daisar and maybe globally to know what Dr. Ajay Shah is personally in life. So can I start this interactive session by asking you as to what was your your qualification, as to your studies, and how do you manage to come into this field of pathology? Can you give me some kind of a input on this?
Yeah, sure. Good morning. And first of all, let me thank you, the ISER Connect team, for giving me opportunity to get connected with you all.
Thank
Uh, I am born and brought up in Borivali, and my education I did SSC from GH High School and went for a last batch of Inter Science. And then I got admission for my doctorate for MBBS in Grant Medical College, JJ Group of Hospitals in the year 1977. And then
you. Great.
from the same institute, I completed my post graduation in the subject of pathology in the year 1986.
Okay.
After completion of my post graduation, I continued for about a year in the Grant Medical College and JJ Group of Hospitals as a lecturer. During those days, I presented many papers in the national forum and participated in the seminar. In the year 1987, uh, my professor and my senior colleague advised me to go for private practice, which was a need during those days. Then, since I was based at Borivali, I started looking out for a place, suitable place to start a clinical pathology laboratory. And
GM.
with the blessings of my parents, and I must tell you, a very important personality who, during those days, it helped me a lot, is Dr. Jariwala. With the help of
Okay.
them, I landed in Dahisar and started a very small setup, a humble small laboratory with all manual work and one lab assistant. This was in the year 1987.
तभी जो आपने सोचा, मैं आपके साथ बात काफी सारी भाषाओं में करूंगा, बिकॉज हमारे ऑडियंस जो है, व्यूअर्स जो है, वो इट्स
Yeah.
अ मिक्स ऑफ ऑल लैंग्वेजेस। तो उस वक्त आपने दहिसर को डेवलप होते हुए देखा, तो सबसे पहले क्लिनिक जो था आपका डॉक्टर शाह, वो कौन से एरिया में था? इज इट नियर द डेवलपमेंट बैंक जो बिल्डिंग
Yeah.
थी वहां
Yeah.
पे था, कि उसके कहीं और था पहले?
They started in that only, Arun apartment near Development Bank and near Ravindra Hotel.
हम्म।
It was a 500 square feet small residential flat, and in
अच्छा।
that also I started in only half of that flat, that is around 250 300 square feet,
ओके।
because financial crunches and it was beginning, so it started in the small place like that, and I continued at the same place for next till 2010 and expanded, and slowly luckily on the ground floor I could get all the premises, and expanded from a manual setup to semi-automatic and full automation, uh, and with one staff of lab attendant we reached to about 50-60 staff till the year 2010. The
ग्रेट।
entire idea of this laboratory was, the laboratory I always wanted to be a quality, only for the quality, and it was
या।
a, and today and in future also it is going to be a patient centric laboratory. So during those 20 years, we, which was there at the Arun apartment old laboratory, we expanded all the different sections of our laboratory. In pathology we have hematology, biochemistry, and I started a separate section of microbiology, which is one of the very important, as my medical fraternity people will know, for a diagnostic division.
या।
Uh, and in this journey, I got a lot of support from my staff, from my family. Slowly, we made our laboratory more and more disciplined, and we got ISO certification
ओ
and
ग्रेट।
NABL accreditation. Now, about NABL, I would like to tell you something, that it is
या।
the highest ever accreditation given to a clinical pathology laboratory in India by central government department of scientific education. So during those days, we were the first in western suburb, first private laboratory to get NABL accreditation. So this NABL accreditation gives us a lot of discipline and lot of protocols, and it always works for the quality of the reports. So main our goal was quality, and giving our Daisarites and Borivali people uh, reports with a lot of weightage, which can help to for the management of our physicians and clinicians. And our goal was to give it as a reasonable cost and in a very much within the time that is called as a turnaround time, as early as
आई
possible.
सी। ओके। ओके।
We tried to, those days, few of the tests in the beginning we used to do in our laboratory, and many of the tests I used to outsource it because I did not have those equipment. So all this during this journey we tried, and now we are almost reached up to 90% that everything is done in house with all the high end technology equipments, and without much delay we are reporting it.
Great. Actually, it's so nice to hear about it, because earlier when we used to visit the laboratory, it was kind of a normal way of getting ourselves checked for whatever reasons. But we didn't know that so much of pain and dedication has gone into all this. Though I don't say it's a pain, it's something which was you loved by you as your profession.
Yes.
And जैसे भरत भाई ने अभी बताया है, Dr. Ajit Manjrekar is saying that we are very lucky to have such kind of a facility, NABL accredited accreditation जो आपको मिला. So we did not know this, but I think because of Daisar Connect, I am not trying to propagate my channel, but I feel because of this we have come to know certain things which are so much so important for Daisarites to know, and we should be proud of it. वो हम तक पहुंच ही नहीं है, so that's the reason I have called prominent personalities like you, Dr. Ajay Shah, so that you can share your experience of whatever you have done in life. अभी मुझे आपसे और एक taking the interview further down, I want to ask, in this journey, you must have realized कि काफी सारे रोग राई है या something which are diseases or whatever terminology used can be detected at an early stage in life if you do a lot of tests. So is it, I mean, what do you advise people? I mean, do they do you have these kind of facilities for people to actually, get this test done so that they can avoid future complications in life, Dr. Ajay Shah?
Yes, very much, very much. Before that, before I go to your question, I just wanted
Yes,
to add
doctor.
one more thing about NABL.
Yeah.
See, once the laboratory gives you the report with a logo of NABL, your reports are acceptable everywhere, all over globally, not only in India. So that is
Yeah.
the very importance because we are following certain protocols and we have been audited by
Okay.
faculties of pathologists all over the India. So that is very important to know about the background of this NABL. Now, going back to your question, very
Yeah,
important.
doctor.
See, my dear friends, that this era today is the era of preventive medicine. The more you prevent your in any disease or you tackle it beforehand, it is always controllable and curable, and that will help you most. And some of the common diseases which I would like to tell you all in a very simple language that all of us of any age group should look after it. The most common problems what we have in our developing country and in India is anemia. So all of us should know about the hemoglobin, time and again check it. Second is diabetes and high blood pressure. This has now become a not only a metabolic disease, it has become an epidemic. Diabetes is such a going so fast in each and every member family. And previously in olden days we used to think only in the elderly people, but now it is even in the young generation also diabetes
Hmm.
is seen. So I would request everyone to get their blood sugar regularly checked, their blood pressure to be checked. The third thing
Hmm.
is the very commonly seen is the kidney disease and kidney problem. Many of the because we are living in the era of very competitive world, the life is full of stress. So all this diabetes, blood pressure will always damage the kidney. So all of us at regular interval with your physician's help should get your creatinine checked.
Okay.
That is one thing. And then very commonly seen with the females, also seen in males, but females, the thyroid hormones. The thyroid hormones are, it is a hormone which controls the entire body mechanism. So this should be checked very regularly, especially in a pregnant lady, in a pregnant woman, because it has got a lot of repercussion on the baby's milestone, on the baby's IQ and intelligence. So these are all very important things. Over and
Yeah.
above, certain vitamins. Now we common vitamins are B12 and D3. It's like household name nowadays. People know that vitamin D is only for bone, vitamin B12 is only for hemoglobin, but it is not true. Both these vitamin B12 and D3 is covering entire body function. They are also involved in the heart function, kidney function, brain function. Like with B12, you will get if there is a deficiency, one will have irritability, the one will have muscular pain. So both these vitamins should be properly tackled and should be regularly checked. So in short, one should do hemoglobin, blood sugar, their cholesterol, thyroid hormone, and this vitamin should be regularly checked. Now, going to with your question further, there are two messages which I would like to give along with this. One thing is for my youngsters and those who are in a marriageable age group.
Yeah.
We have in our culture, in our society, when the marriage is getting fixed, the parents will go to the bhaji and they match the kundali.
Yeah.
But I would request everyone and youngsters also that they should take in this part that we, before going into such marriageable proposal, both they should find out if there is no genetic abnormality. And one of the common, I would want to give the message to the my Daisar Connect people and to entire world and society is like certain HB hemoglobin abnormalities. One of the common is thalassemia. Now, thalassemia is seen very commonly in our community, in Gujarati community, Bhatia, Lohana, Sindhi, so many places. Now, because of mutation, it is seen everywhere. So, if both the partner are having a thalassemia gene, a carrier for the thalassemia, then there are 25% chance that they will give a birth of a thalassemia major child. And this
Oh,
thalassemia major child is a real burden, socio-economical burden for our society, and which is preventable. So rather than matching the kundali, one should find out all these genetic diseases beforehand so that everything is planned properly. And the second one, which is very, very important, for which our central government is also taking a lot of efforts, that is tuberculosis. Now, tuberculosis government wants to take it out, get rid of it by 2030. Let me tell you, tuberculosis is rampant. It is everywhere. Previously, it was to be thought that it will always occurs in a poor socio-economical condition, but now, at least last 2 decades, I'm seeing it is there in everyone's family, in all the social classes. It is there in our family, your family, in everywhere. And please don't consider tuberculosis as a stigma. Don't hide it. My request to all of you is that if you have a fever or if you have a cough for at least more than 2 weeks, not getting treated with
hmm,
simple line of medicine, please investigate yourself for tuberculosis. So these two things are very important, along with the other investigation, which should be done regularly at regular intervals and can prevent lot of damages to occur in our body and reduce the financial burden. I
great,
hope I
great.
am clear
Yeah.
with the Dacer Connect.
Absolutely right. I mean, doctor, I'm first of all thankful that you're giving such exhaustive information which is not known, at least to say 50, 20, 30% of people. You are adding knowledge to that. And as what you rightly said, when हम लोग जब physically fit होते हैं, तभी हम लोग खुश होते हैं जिंदगी में. अगर कहीं ना कहीं, if you have a lot of money in life and if you are not fit in life, then there's no point. And
Exactly.
and as when we have such kind of facilities like Dr. Shah's pathology lab, which gives you an indication, okay, there's a chance कि यहाँ पे कुछ problem है, so you can get yourself treated. You can get proper treatment from your physicians or maybe experts in the field. And डॉक्टर मुझे ये भी पूछना था, as what you rightly said, हर एक की एक belief होती है, कुंडली ये करना, मैच करना, yeah, that is a belief of every family. But you also said that genetic disorder जो होता है, that has to be also checked. तो God forbid, अगर किसी को समझ में आया कि yes, there is a genetic disorder in a person, so can that be rectified with a proper treatment before the person gets married? Just for my knowledge.
Yeah, see, the if you have a family history of certain genetic disease, you
Hmm.
should consult your physician, your gynecologist, your genetic specialist. It cannot be corrected, but you can identify with the latest technology, because not
Okay.
necessary that all the family member will have the same genetic abnormalities. There are certain male predominance, there are certain female predominance, but one can gather the knowledge, one can identify, and one can accordingly plan the family in future. And there are certain tests are available once the pregnant ladies occur in the first trimester, second trimester, what we say dual marker, Down syndrome. There are certain medical languages, but you
Okay.
should be in connect with your physician and gynecologist for your family planning, and one can reduce such burden to have such a abnormal child.
Great. I wanted to also acknowledge Dr. Mr. Sandeep Kadakia जो है, he is one of the persons on Daisar Connect, senior citizens के वो group के leader हैं. उन्होंने आपको hello बोला है because he was from the same school, Gopal ji Hemraj, and he was
Yes,
very
yes.
happy yesterday that
Mhm.
you're going to be there on the screen. See, he is wishing you good morning. So I am
Yeah,
very happy that you can interact with him also. तो
yeah.
अभी
Thanks,
आगे
Samjit bhai.
मैं
Thanks.
आगे मैं ये बढ़ाना चाहता हूँ अपना कॉन्वर्सेशन. कैन आई आस्क यू, इन आर clinic over there right now, your pathological lab presently opposite Manav Kalyan, which is one of the very renowned I mean pathological center in Daisar. उसमें what all facilities are there, like especially cancer treatment के लिए या ऐसे चीजें है आपके पास जो आप बताना चाहेंगे लोगों को?
See, in the year 2010, we shifted to separate different place from my old
Yeah.
laboratory because of the space crunches, and I wanted to develop, I wanted to upgrade because I wanted to be with the world and all those technology. It was my dream that it should be available in Daisar and for Daisar people. Why they should run to South Mumbai or why they should run somewhere else? So keeping in by that mind, we shifted to Midrashti, a new setup, where entire first floor is our processing unit, about 3,500 square feet. And in this, we have got all because now there are two things. We have to cope up with the work also, and at the same time, within the time, we have to give the quality reports. So now we have in our setup all high-end, high technology equipments from Siemens, Abbott, Biomirox, and BD for different sections of our laboratory. They are all integrated. We have a robust IT section which gives a good backup for this equipment, and almost everything is done in house. All the vitamins, all the cancer markers, all the hormones, all the infertility related tests. So everything is done in house. And one more thing which we added in few years back in our setup, that is
Yeah.
male infertility clinic.
Oh.
Now, when the infertile couple goes to the obstetrician or a gynecologist, and that is our culture, that is our society, and it is not a fault of any doctor, but there always the female partner is subjected more for all the investigation.
Oh.
But the statistics says that about 15 to 18% fault is also there in the male partner. So keeping in that mind, I have started a male infertility clinic under the name of Wonder Sperm, where we do all the semen analysis in a very advanced manner with a good technology as per WHO standard, and we provide those information to the obstetrician and get it corrected the male infertility. So everything is available, including the cancer markers and vitamins and infertility in our setup.
Great. It's so nice to hear about this because this will add to the woman empowerment kind of a feeling, because we always have seen in films also that if there's any issue, the woman is tormented and she's, always a kind of a target for all criticism. So I don't say that male have to be criticized for that as well. What Dr. Shah just said, you can get yourself diagnosed, you can get the things corrected, and there's a facility which is available very much in Daisar, our own Daisar suburb, which we want the entire globe to know. And as what Dr. Ajay Shah said, that he wanted to have global technology, global presence for Daisar, which matches which with our view that Daisar should be on the global map. That is what I feel, and I'm very proud of you, Dr. Ajay Shah. The next question, or rather, my request to you is, what exactly do you advise the younger generation who want to actually go in for paramedical, or they go in for pathology या research? तो आप उनको कुछ advice दे सकते हैं?
Yeah, definitely. See, what I have learned from my experience of 33 years, I always feel that pathology is in the medicine, medical, all those subjects, pathology is a commander. Pathology guides, pathologist guides to the physician, to the patient in depth about their problems. So it
Yeah.
is a very interesting branch, very job satisfaction. I am very happy. I'm absolutely involved deeply. And in this era of evidence-based practice, now
Yeah.
everyone wants evidence. So in medical education, I will always tell people, definitely if they like the subject pathology, it is very good, because you should know everything about medicine as a pathologist, because you have to discussing with all your physicians. And about the paramedical staff, I will say pathology is it's just not just an investigation, it's an entire chain of system, where right from patients receiving till the delivery of the reports, at multiple level, different people are working. So for the paramedical staff also, it's really beautiful subject. very challenging, but one should be interested in it because you are playing with the life of the patient. So in paramedical, I would say there are phlebotomists, that is people who do collect the blood. They've got very important role to play. Those IT section people nowadays, without IT, you can't do anything. It has to be a very well robust IT section. Medical technologist, a quality medical technologist, because we can always get a very big systems. I have all systems of multinational companies which are integrated in my laboratory, so it is full automation, but not just machine. Just to keep the machine will not give the quality. It is a man behind the machine. So we need a very quality staff. So at all the level, the staff should be very well trained. They should be interested. Today we have about 95 people of staff, including all these levels, and three besides me. There we have two MD pathologists and one MD microbiologist. So team of these doctors, we are trying to deliver the quality reports at a reasonable cost.
Great, great. My next question obviously is going to be related to the pandemic, doctor, because we have gone through a very horrible phase as far as common man is concerned. People were absolutely down and out. So, can you elaborate as to how you tackled the entire situation as far as the patients are concerned, with the PPE suits, or what was your take on the pandemic? How did you manage?
Yeah, yes, it was a Bhushan. It was a real very difficult task. I must tell you all, and with the grace of God, we have overcome it, and almost now it is negligible. But I must thank my entire team of 100 staff
Good.
because they stood with me, and not a very single day we have closed the laboratory.
Oh,
From
great.
20th March till today, we have been working, and I have tried to see that they have been given uh, first 3 months at least emergency requirement report. Those who had blood sugar, those who had thyroid, those who had cancer, treatment of chemotherapy. So all those investigation is needed, and we cannot just keep it closed and locked down. So those staff who were staying nearby in Daisar, who could walk down, we could manage it for few hours. Slowly we increased our started our centers, and this is how we continued working. And we had kept in mind for our patient to keep distancing, to keep sanitization. Keeping in all this mind, we could continuously give the service to all our patients. And slowly, about 4 months back, we also started home service with all the phlebotomists. And nowadays, people are opting for more of a home service because still they are worried to come to the crowded place in a laboratory. So we increased our phlebotomist for that section and started giving them the home service wherever it was required, especially for the patient who are elderly patient who have got a morbidity, diabetes, who cannot come to the laboratory and they need their checkup for cancer treatment. So all the services we could give, and really thank God and thanks to my staff that till today we are working, including Sunday we worked entire all the days from March 20th, and
24 by
got
7.
a 24 by 7. Yeah,
Very nice. Yeah, it's so a proud feeling. It's a proud feeling for all of us. And we were sitting at home, keeping ourselves safe, doctor. But then hats off to you and your entire team, who stood by, during the emergency also, where emergency situation rather, a pandemic situation, where, as what you said, people with comorbidity and people, elderly people also had their own issues. You cannot just neglect that, thinking
exactly,
only about the pandemic. So
exactly.
it's so nice that, I mean, hats off to your entire staff, which actually I have also put up as a feature on my Daisar Connect, your group photograph, so that they let people know that this is a kind of dedicated staff without which it's a teamwork. One person, a captain of the ship, can guide you, but he also
Exactly.
requires his team to take care of the situation. Doctor,
And
I
my
want to ask you.
family backup
Yeah.
was also there. Full family backup. They allowed
Oh,
me to
great.
work at the age of 62, 63.
Oh, great. First of all, you don't look like
I
63.
came every,
I
I
mean,
have
that's
attended each and every day till today.
oh, oh, great, great. That's what I told you. You don't look like 63 unless you mentioned it just now. You look much, much younger. And it's really thankful that your family generally they are resistant towards allowing the person to go and meet patients who may be having actually serious issues. So hats off to them. We are proud of them also. Doctor, for the next question goes to you as to what exactly is your plan for this decade 20, because we are talking about 10 years development ki baat kar rahe hain hum log. So 2021 to 2030, how do you see your profession growing and health friendly towards Daisarites and maybe people from Borivali also? What do you envisage?
Yeah, see, I think this is for all the pathologists. All pathologists we have learned, and all the medical fraternity also. The COVID has made us learn something more than what we were doing pre-COVID. So it is out of the box now, and molecular is the way for future for
Yeah,
every diagnostic division. And keeping in that mind, we have already decided. In fact, we have already purchased one more special place for it, and we are going with a specialized molecular lab setup.
yeah,
RT-PCR is now a household name. Everybody talks about RT-PCR, but RT-PCR is just one method of doing a molecular technology. There
okay,
are PCR, there is fish, there is next generation sequences. All those things I want to bring it to the Daisar. For this, we have already started our planning, and that will help us to diagnose very quickly and accurately many infectious diseases, not only COVID, but dengue, malaria, typhoid, and so many other cancer markers. So all these things we are planning to get a molecular setup, and also certain tests for genetic abnormalities. So besides my what I'm doing today as a clinical pathologist and a microbiologist setup, which we have entire coverage is there. These two things we want to edit, and over and above, as what our Prime Minister's dream is there, the digitalization. So we want to carry out digitalization of the entire setup. During the pandemic
okay,
also, we saw that patient has to only come once for their sample, and we saw that everybody gets their report on digitalized platform like email or like on a WhatsApp, so they need not travel. So same thing I want to take it further solidified with our IT people and make it the laboratory more and more digitalized. These are my planning for the next decade.
great. Doctor, I want to, before I conclude this interactive session, I want to ask you, how does Mrs. Shah and your son come into the picture, and what is their contribution to the entire future plans what you have?
Oh, they have a great contribution because I am so much workaholic since last 30 years. I work 10 hours, 12 hours. So they have never grumbled. My family, my wife, Lina, she is an architect, and all my collection centers, all my laboratory, because घर में एक architect बैठा है तो बार बार मुझे मन होता है आज मुझे ये चेंज करने का आज मुझे ये नया बनाने का है so she is always there to help me, and there is continuous renovations going on because I always think dream something. I want to buy this, I want to buy new equipment, I want a new place, and now she is totally involved with my new place to set up a molecular lab. The work is already started. Besides that, she is a professional architect, and she is interior designer for many doctors in and around Daisar Borivali. She has designed many nursing homes, many clinics. Recently, she has designed Dr. Ami Sanghvi's clinic, Dr. Rakesh Singh's Pinnacle Nursing Home, and so many things are going on. She is also full time working. And about my
Great,
son, he is a doctor and he is doing his post graduation in the same subject which I did as a pathologist. In this May or June, he will be appearing for his final post graduation examination. And maybe for next 1 or 2 years, he will still further go for super specialization and join with me. My thinking is that, and I am pursuing that he should go for more of a molecular studies. He should go abroad to study something more about molecular way, so that we can have a good platform of molecular laboratory.
great, great. It was a great experience speaking to you, Doctor. In the first place, I want to thank Chintan Vasani and Wisebiz Reality that he could arrange the entire thing DC Wise Talk. First of all, I'm thankful to you, Doctor, that you spared your time for the audience, for my viewers here as well as globally, because the Acer Connect has got viewers even in US, Europe, and Gulf. So they also would have got this knowledge, when you are explaining to them what plans you have in future. Secondly, I also wanted people to know that we have Mrs. Alina Shah, who is actually an architect, who's doing, designing of hospitals and clinics. Because I have seen Dr. Ami Sangvi's clinic personally, it is designed in a very modern and it's very nice thing. And though both Dr. Ami Sangvi and her husband, both of them are very good family friends. So it's nice that I got to know about Dr. Leena Shah and your son. So, my dear friends, it's so I'm going to conclude this talk, DC Wise Talk today, and we will have this sessions every Sunday if possible with new guests and new VIPs or Daiserites or people who are achievers, so that we know exactly what they have done in life and how Daiser is going to benefit from their vision, for the next decade. Thank you, Dr. Shah, that you came and we have been with us on DC Wise Talk.
Thank you, Bhushan. Thank you, Chintan. And thank you, the Acer Connect team, for giving me this opportunity to get connected with you all. Thank you once again. Thank you very much.
God bless. God bless.